Paul Cezanne is a French artist who was famous for his still lifes. Here you can see pears and apples in a vase arranged on a table. They look so realistic you could reach out and eat one. So, first graders, just like Paul Cezanne, I am ready to start working on a still life. A still life means things that are not going to be moving while you're trying to draw or paint them, but they're real. They're from real life, so still life. So here I have a bowl with some oranges, apples, and pears because I just went grocery shopping yesterday. You certainly could work from a photograph, which I will put in the template if you want to look at that if you don't have these items in your house. So I'm looking with my eyes, but I'm going to have to also turn the camera so that you can see what I'm doing on my paper. I have a white piece of paper here and a pencil. And so I can see that there are 3 oranges, and I'm not going to worry about putting them where they are in the bowl right now. I'm just going to draw 3 round orange shapes. One's a little smaller. Then I have 2 apples, and when I look at the apples, I notice that the top dips down a little bit. Not quite a heart shape, but not as round as an orange. One was a little wider on this side, and then I have 1 pear, and I'm really looking, and that pear has a wider bottom and a skinnier top. I'm looking now, the pear has a stem kind of coming out this way, and since these are getting cut out, it's fine that they're just kind of floating around the page, and one of the apples has a tiny little stem right here. Now I'm going to have to really look at either my oranges and apples that are right there in front of me, or if you're looking at my photo, that's fine. And you're going to use the materials you have at home. For some of you that's marker, for some of you that's crayons, some of you might have paint. Use what you have. And I'm going to start to color these in. And I notice, and I'm going to show you my apples again, my apples are not all completely red. If you look, they have yellow and green and some red kind of stripes. My pear is yellow and then with little green speckles and a couple little brown spots even. And my oranges, there's a darker side and then kind of a lighter side and little tiny speckles. So I'm going to try and show that in my coloring. So here I've already started on this apple, and I was just talking about how I was going to need some yellow and green spots. And there's more around this stem area here. And then more reddish in the rest of the apple. So you're going to see as I color the rest of the fruits on this page, I'm going to really think about what that fruit really looks like with all those little details and spots and color changes, because I'm working on a still life as realistic from life as I can possibly make my work. Alright, I'm ready to draw the bowl, and I have a nice green bowl. You can certainly change the color in your imagination, and so I'm going to start with a big, round, oval pancake shape. Because when I'm looking at that bowl from the side, I don't see the big circle at the top. I'm looking at it from the side, so I see it and it looks a little bit squished. My bowl has kind of a lip around the edge. And then this part down here. Now my bowl is not floating in the middle of nowhere, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a table line. And as long as the table line's above where the bottom of the bowl is, now my bowl is sitting on the table. And here's where you can decide if you want to leave things very plain, that's fine. You'd have your table, your wall, your bowl. I'm going to make mine a little more interesting, decorated. I'm going to have a striped tablecloth. You could have patterned wallpaper or pictures on the wall. I think I'm going to leave my wall plain and just have the patterned tablecloth. So now Mrs. Eckendorf is going to be taking some time to color her background. Again, you could use markers, crayons, paints, whatever you have available to color this part of the picture. All right, now I'm ready to put my two pieces together. So if we look again at my actual bowl of fruit, one thing you're gonna notice is that in real world, this goes back in space. So in my picture, I need to show depth, or that this goes back further than just a flat piece of paper. I'm going to do that by using overlap. So when I say overlap, this apple is in front of the other apple. This orange is in front of the other oranges. The pear is in front of the orange that we can only see a little bit back here. I'm going to use overlap in my picture. So here are all my fruits. I'm going to start with the ones in the back first. So I'm going to take this beautiful orange right here. I'm going to have my shadow side on the left, facing this direction. And then I'm going to take an apple, and I see here, oh, it's going to touch the bottom of my bowl. So I'm going to trim that so it looks like it's going inside the bowl. And my overlap is happening right here where the apple is over the orange. I'm going to go ahead and put another orange back here. Now here's where I'm going to have to do some trimming again. I have overlap where this apple is in front of the orange. Occasionally you may have to sneak something behind other things. I think this orange is going to get snuck in back here. I want to see that little stem coming out. And then I just have my pear to place yet. I don't want to lose that edge of it. And here is my pear. And I'm going to sneak this behind here. You can see my blue was a little bit wet yet, oopsie. And so now my apple is in front of the orange is in front of the pear. Overlap makes it look like this bowl is full of fruit, just like a Cezanne still life. I would love to see your work on this second answer template, and you'll also have a chance to tell me how Cezanne makes things look real like they take up space in his work on the first slide of the answer template.